The House will come to order. Conference committee reports.
Conference committee report on House File Number 3972, an act relating to liquor. The report is addressed to the Honorable Kurt L. Doudt, Speaker of the House, and the Honorable Michelle L. Fischbach, President of the Senate. We, the undersigned conferees for House File Number 3972, report that we've agreed upon the items in dispute and recommended as follows. The report is signed by all three conferees on behalf of the House and all three conferees on the part of the Senate. Nash moves that the report of the Conference Committee on House File Number 3972 be adopted and that the bill be repassed as amended by the Conference Committee.
I recognize the author, Representative Nash, who will explain the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This is the liquor omnibus bill that passed off the floor quite strongly. We went to conference with the Senate. Some things were removed. They made one slight change to some of the language for the distillers and brewmakers brewers and winemakers on site. The change that they made was that the product could not be sold elsewhere. That is the only change to that language. I would stand for questions.
Discussion on the conference report. The member from Hennepin, Representative Hillstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. And if Representative Nash would yield to a question.
You will, Representative Hillstrom.
Representative Nash, I just want to get clarification on the record that they cannot sell it anywhere else but on the premises. Is that correct?
Member from Carver, Representative Nash.
Mr. Speaker, Representative Hillstrom, yes, that is the understanding. That is the language that was put in there. They cannot sell it anywhere else.
Representative Hillstrom.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would encourage members to support it.
Discussion on the adoption of the conference report. Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to adopt the conference report on House File 3972, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say nay. The motion prevails. The clerk will give the bill its third reading as amended by conference.
Third reading, House File Number 3972, as amended by conference.
Third reading. Discussion to the report. The author of the report from Carver, Representative Nash.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I guarantee this will be the least controversial thing you do all day. Vote green.
Seeing no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll on the conference report. Mason votes aye. Lilly votes aye. Cagle votes aye. Slocum votes aye. The clerk will close the roll. And Rosenthal votes aye. Oh, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Rosenthal votes aye. Mason votes aye. Lilly votes aye. Rosenthal votes aye. Cagle votes aye. Slocum votes aye. There being 120 ayes and 2 nays, the bill is passed as amended by conference. It's repassed as amended by conference and its title agreed to. Member from Wright, Representative Lucero, for what purpose do you rise?
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Speaker.
State your point of personal privilege.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a resolution that I think might still be on the photocopier, but it should be coming around shortly.
Members, the noise in the chamber has become quite loud. Please take your conversations to the alcoves or the retiring rooms. Member from Wright, Representative Lucero.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On this last day of session, I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize an American economist who's had a significant influence on our country, but also the world. Commemorating the many contributions of Milton Friedman. Whereas Milton Friedman was born July 31st, 1912 in Brooklyn, New York, to Jewish immigrants Yeno and Sarah Friedman from the Kingdom of Hungary, present-day Ukraine, and passed away November 16, 2006. And whereas Milton Friedman was an American economist and professor who joined the University of Chicago economics faculty in 1946, whereas Milton Friedman's works include monographs, books, scholarly articles, papers, magazine columns, television programs, and lectures that cover a broad range of economic topics and public policy issues, including calling for greater individual freedom to achieve economic success for limited government involvement in economic activity, freely floating exchange rates, education choice, and the simple idea each person is responsible for their own life to live as each sees fit, so long as it does not violate the liberty of others. And whereas Milton Friedman authored international best-selling books including Capitalism and Freedom, published in 1962, and with Rose Friedman, Free to Choose, published in 1980. And whereas Milton Friedman's national and international legacy demonstrate core truths that limited government involvement in the marketplace, monetarism, and free markets produce stronger democracies, and that economic freedom is a precondition for political freedom. And whereas Milton Friedman received many honors an economist can be awarded, including the Clark Medal given every second year by the American Economic Association to the best American economist under 40, was elected president of the American Economic Association in 1967, was awarded the Nobel Prize in Economic Sciences in 1976, and in 1988 received the National Medal of Science for his development of the permanent income model of consumption and for his work on monetary history and policy, as well as the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And whereas The Economist publication described Milton Friedman as, quote, the most influential economist of the second half of the 20th century, possibly all of it, unquote. And whereas Milton Friedman was an advisor to Republican U.S. President Ronald Reagan and British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, and whereas Milton Friedman provided far-reaching positive economic policy advice to governments in Eastern Europe, China, Japan, South America, among other former communist states. And whereas the public broadcasting system, PBS, launched the award-winning Free to Choose beginning in 1980, featuring Milton Friedman discussing the dangers of an intrusive government and the critical role a free competitive economy plays in making a free society possible. And whereas the public broadcasting system, together with The Economist, Free to Choose Media, and more than 24 partners, including state and local governments, on January 29, 2007, premiered an exclusive documentary on Milton Friedman, launching Milton Friedman Day as an opportunity for national debate and dialogue on personal and economic freedom. And whereas former Federal Reserve Chairman Alan Greenspan said of Milton Friedman, quote, there are very few people over the generations who have ideas that are sufficiently original to materially alter the direction of civilization. Milton is one of those very few people, unquote. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration of the House of Representatives of the state of Minnesota that it commemorates the many contributions of Milton Friedman. Signed, Speaker of the House, Kurt Daudt, Joyce Pepin, Chair of the Rules and Legislative Administration, and myself. Thank you, members, and Mr. Speaker.
Member from Carver, Representative Pugh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. Today is the 75th anniversary of the NFIB, the National Federation for Independent Business, and you have another House resolution on your desk to recognize that. As we all know, small businesses are the economic engine of our state and of our communities, and I thought it important that we take a moment to recognize and appreciate the excellent work of the NFIB on behalf of small businesses in the state of Minnesota, and to wish them well and continued success. So members, if you would please join me in acknowledging appreciation for the small businesses who work so hard in each of our communities throughout the state of Minnesota. Thank you.
Majority Leader Pepin.
Mr. Speaker and members, I move a recess to the call of the chair until approximately 3 o'clock.
Representative Pepin moves a recess to the call of the chair until approximately 3 o'clock. Okay. Majority Leader Pepin.
Thank you. I forgot to mention Republican members. We will be caucusing, and I assume the Democrats will be caucusing as well.
Thank you. Member from Clay, Representative Marquardt.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members, and the DFL will caucus at this time also.
All those in favor of the motion to recess to the call of the chair, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, say nay. Motion prevails. The House is in recess to the call of the chair.